Hey folks, welcome to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It's mid-March and we got a lot to do in the bee yard. We're behind because we've had some cold fronts that's kept us out of here, and days it was just really windy, and you know, life gets in the way, being able to do stuff after work. Now that the time has changed, but haven't had time to get down here, so got 1 week to get a lot of stuff done before we get really busy. So today we're going to rotate these hives, the ones that need it, and I'll show you how to determine which ones to rotate, which ones to leave. Also, I may get this electric fence out of here. I don't know, it depends on how much time I have. So that's not something I have to do. So if I have time, I will do that there towards the end of the day. So let's get started with the springtime beekeeping and rotating these hives. Okay, we're going to start right here on hive number 1 with this rotation. So when I talk about rotation, what I mean is typically when you come out of winter, all the bees will have migrated up, ate through all their honey that's stored up in the top, and they'll all be in the top. So you want to move the top brood chamber to the bottom and the bottom to the top, because the bottom will be empty, and that way they'll fill this up and this will be their food for next year. And when the honey flow starts, we'll put a honey super, a medium box on top of this with the queen excluder to keep the queen from going up and laying in it. And that's where all the honey will be that we harvest. And all the honey will be in the top deep that gets them through winter time. So I'm also going to pull off all the entrance reduction I have for winter, because we're basically done with winter now, I hope. And give the bees more ventilation, and once the population gets built up, they can get in and out a lot more freely. So let's get into this hive number 1 and see what it looks like. Not seeing a whole lot of activity on this one, but they are bringing in some light brown pollen, which is probably cedar. Give them just a little bit of smoke. And we'll give them some smoke in the top. This hive is pretty light right now, so they may be just about out of honey. Make sure you don't see the queen up here. So it looks like most of my concentration of bees are over here, and they've still got what looks like to be a lot of thick honey frames right here. So let's do a quick inspection on what we have, and then we'll determine what we're going to do. Okay. I guess I'll start on this frame here since most of my bees are on this side. But there's a lot on this frame right here. So we've got some pollen here on this frame, which tells me the brood's going to be right on the frame next to it. Don't see the queen. So we have what looks like fresh nectar right here. So they are bringing in a little bit of nectar right now. That or that's left over, and I don't think it is. Like I said, it's mid-March, so it's a little early for nectar flow, but there may be some stuff coming out early and a little bit of nectar out there. So I expect to see some brood right here and maybe the queen. I don't see brood yet. So there must be some nectar right in here, because the bees got their heads down from when I gave them the smoke. They're in there filling their guts with the honey, or the nectar. So here I see some cat brood, just very little. There's some capped brood right here, and no eggs that I can see. So these bees are definitely up in the top, so they do need rotated. I look down to the box below and I don't see anything going on down there. Let's go on and see. Normally I wouldn't go through here, I would just rotate it, but for this video and demonstration I want to show you, what I'm seeing. So there's some good population of bees here. Some more capped brood and some uncapped brood, and I do see eggs on this frame. Trying to spot the queen. She might be on the other side. Boy, they're really bunched up, it's hard to see. Also on this side I see capped brood. This is a natural frame here. This is one they drew out themselves. There's no foundation in it to start them out. And all this comb right here is drone comb. It's big round stuff. Well, I'm not seeing that queen. Well, there's another pretty good size population on the next frame. There's some honey on that one. There she is, marked red. Nope, up at the top. Right there is our queen. So she was marked last year, I think, as the red dot. So she was marked last year. That doesn't mean she was last year's queen. Now I totally forgot the orientation that I took this frame out of there. I think the queen was on this side. So when you put your frames back, always make sure you put them in the same way you took them out. And I couldn't tell you if I did or not there. You'll know in the video because you saw it. And this is the opposite side of that. See some nice red colors in here on the pollen. There's a lot of nectar in there, so they're doing well as far as bringing in some nectar right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to scoot the bees to the center. I'm going to check these frames here. I think they're honey frames. And get the honey out to the edges. So here's one they haven't touched. I'm going to put that to the outside. And here's a nice thick honey frame, which is so thick I can't put it against anything. So, see how I did this? I checkerboarded these frames and they don't touch this one. I need to coat some wax on it. But you can't press these together because they're just too thick. Here's another one that's all wonky. Look at that. So I'll just kind of spread these out. I might make this 9 frame in the top. I want to get that honey on each side of them so they can feed on it. Okay, I got one more thing of bees down there I forgot. The first frame, that's got to get in there. Wow, look at that red pollen on this bee right here. If you can see that. There's another one. Look how red that is. Hopefully that'll show up. Here's some with some yellow. Well, they're bringing in all kinds of pollen. Gosh, I don't know what to do with these thick frames other than just get rid of them. But they're full of honey, so I want to keep them for now. If I don't keep these frames together, they're going to make a mess of this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I guess I should go ahead and put a skinny one back in here. As much as I hate to do that, because they're not going to put anything on it, but it'll keep these separated. Enough where they don't go making wonky comb and filling up all these cavities. Really what needs to be done is they just need to be taken out. But I want to use that resource in the hive for the bees to feed off of if they need it. See, they're just drawing this out wonky. They're not even trying to. Tell you what, I've got some new frames up there. I'm going to go get them because they got fresh wax on them. Get these out of here. Because the bees, for whatever reason, they don't care for it. All right. Okay, these are fresh out of the box, so hopefully they've got more wax on them. Doesn't look like it, but we'll see what happens. In fact, the ones I pulled out look better than these, I think. Okay. I'm going to date these so I know when they went in. Put a 19 on them. Okay, finally, the part you probably wanted to watch this video for. Rotating the hives. Rotating the boxes. So pretty much have validated all the bees are in the top. I'm going to take a quick look at the bottom. There are some bees here, but these are the bees passing through. Take a quick look just to see. Normally I would just do it. So here's totally empty frame. That's mostly drone brood or drone comb. There's an empty frame. So this box is going to be the top. So we want some nice comb up here. It's all empty because the bees have moved all the way to the top. Just a little bit of honey. Man, that sure looks like robbing there. Or maybe a mouse was in there, but I don't see fuzz. That's strange. I've never seen that before. Looks like something ate that comb like it was robbed. Maybe it was a long time ago when I just put it in this hive and they never did do anything with it. That's possible. So there's a nice, good looking comb with some honey on it. So I'm not going to go any farther. Keep this video reasonable amount of length of time. So since this is drone comb, I'm just going to leave it on the outside. If they want to drone it up, then that's fine. Alright, so let's get this box off. We'll clean off the bottom board a little bit. Another way of knowing there's nothing in there, it didn't weigh hardly anything. A lot of old cappings and things. This is the temporary board you put in your screen bottom board in the winter to help keep the bees warmer. Just try to clean them up a little bit. Smash any spider cocoons or anything like that. Okay. So we got a lot of bees flying around wondering where their home went. This is a slatted rack. It's kind of an optional thing if you want one or not. Some people say they're a waste of money. I have probably 25% of my hives that have them. It just gives the bees a little more space between the entrance and where the actual honeycomb is and where the brood chamber is. So there's more room for bees to hang out down in here below this, so the hive can hold more bees. So it helps a little bit with bearding. And if the bees have more room, they might have a little less tendency to swarm. Okay, so now this was the top box, now it's on the bottom. Smoke the bees down so you don't smash them. I've done another video where I rotated these boxes and I used a lot of smoke, about like I did right there, and I got a lot of comments, you use too much smoke. Well, I don't normally smoke them that much, but see, there's no bees up there now and I'm not smashing any. So I do use a little more smoke when I break the hives down like this. A lot of times you don't need hardly any smoke at all. It just depends on what you're doing. So I'm going to put these beetle traps up here. Looks like they need redone. That's not what I'm doing today though, so they're just going to get put up here for now. This one's okay. It's still got oil in it. Okay, this hive, I believe, is done. So before you take off and leave, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'd appreciate it. Helps my channel grow. We're over 2,000 subscribers this year. And I've watched some of my old videos and they are definitely getting better. The first ones I've done were pretty sad. Anyway, is what it is. So I'm not going to feed these bees either. They got some honey in there. I think they're good. So that's what I'm talking about when I say hive rotation. That's how I do it. So I'm going to do, I've got like 22 more hives, and I won't take near this long to do it. I'm just going to open it, pop the top, look in the bottom and see where the bees are and rotate them and go to the next one. Because if I took this long on every one of them, it'd take me all week. So, and I don't have all week. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.